Hello, welcome. I'm your host Elizibar. This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Number 10. Wow. This series, I don't know. It seemed like it went by fast. Some of it was really good, and then it got slow. I don't know. I don't know. This issue, is pretty good. It is pretty good. What I mean by that is just the places where there was humor was kind of funny, and the places where it was supposed to be dramatic, it was kind of dramatic. Like it's a very effective blending. Downside, this cover looks like it's got like some ink smudges or something on it from the like print shop. I don't know. And it's also a photo, which I always find that really weird on a comic book cover. Maybe that's just because I'm the weirdo. But if you remember the last issue, basically she rode a broomstick and escaped a bunch of crazy cultists. Cool, right? Man, sometimes I really like the art in this book. The way her face is rendered here on this first page right here in this close-up, I really like the way that looks. I think it looks pretty darn good. It doesn't keep up that quality. And the banter here between her and the quote doctor is pretty good. So what are these tests you want to run? I haven't played Doctor in a long time. We have this brand new full body scanner just down the hall. I've known a lot of full body scanners, Doc. There's nothing new about that. But this will be over quite quickly. That's what I'm afraid of. Oh my. Oh my. The banter is good. It's just amusing enough and funny enough. It flows well. Like there's actually like something to it, you know? It was fun. It was fun. And then we get this like super dramatic. I gotta flip this over so you see this 2-page spread. I gotta do it. All right. Bam. That doesn't look good. You know. I saw this horror movie. The start of the second Hellraiser movie. Right. I watched that on Sci-Fi Channel one time. It was on at like midnight. Yeah. I don't know why I'm being like vaguely belligerent about a freaking comic book and a movie, but I totally am. I totally am. Because, you know, what's life without a little drama, right? I mean, drama is just like life with the boring parts cut out. I forget who said that. And, where's that scanner you were talking about? Ooh. The use of shadow right here on their faces. Oh, look at the wavy pages. Little oversaturation with the ink. A little too much humidity. Look at the use of the shadow on their faces right there. Total mood swing or mood change. Like if you look at him back over here, you know, he's being pretty friendly. He's got a smile. They're not all in shadow, but we cut over here. Now, naturally, they're in this dark place, right? Strong light source. That's a point. Of course, there's going to be shadow, but it also darkens their mood. It conveys to us, the reader, that, hey, these guys aren't really as above board as it looked. Very effective. Very effective. In Witches Get Stitches. It's a good name. Anyway, it turns out these dudes are the same cultists that were after her. In the first one with the broom, and they're here, they're charging the broom up. You can see it. That's the sound I imagine it makes. And then the Night Thrasher, I guess, shows up. Like, I don't know who this dude is, but he rolls in. Okay, granted, I know who he is. He's the Soul Survivor. You know, Soul, S-O-U-L. Never mind, never mind. Doesn't matter. Wait, we should exchange numbers. Follow me on Instagram at the real Elvira. I promise to follow back. I wonder if she would follow me back. Is she even on Instagram for real? I might have to go look before we finish this. Whew, he was right. I am groggy, but I can't just wait or sit here while some refugee from a '90s vigilante comic has all the fun. Yeah, Night Thrasher. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. I'm going to show you this one panel because this is actually, it surprised me when I saw it. This absolutely surprised me when I saw it. And it surprised me because I wasn't expecting in 2019 to see a comic book, even one that's kind of jokey. Or actually, no, let me phrase that. Especially one that's kind of jokey, go for something this sight gag exploitive. 2019 from Dynamite, I would not have expected this. Like some indie book, maybe. Like I would expect that like that, but this book probably sold like 8,000 copies or something, which that's not many, and it's still indie. But this is a publisher that's not. I mean, if you look at their covers and stuff, you might go, oh, but they're not Zenoscope. You know what I'm saying? So I was really surprised for the Hubba Hubba moment. And where did they get their nurses' uniforms? I mean, do you think this isn't a real hospital? You feel me? Ah, forget I asked. Rhetorical question. Phrasing, etc. Ah, her talking to the fourth wall is pretty good. The only other thing I'm going to show off is the dude that is helping her here. Look, he looks super buff, man. He's like Night Thrasher, Batman, Spawn, Blade, like all that rolled into one dude. Like he's got gadgets. He's got it's not a sword, it's a stun stick. He's got a cape. But I got to this panel and I went, "Is that Brian Ball? Is that Brian Ball? Is that acclaimed comic book writer Brian Ball? Is he making a cameo appearance here?" He probably isn't, but I can't wait for him to see my Instagram post that I put up a little while ago before I recorded this, talking about that and calling him out explicitly. The dialogue all works pretty well. This dude is like overly serious and stuff. He's got purple backgrounds in his text bubbles. It's ludicrous. She looks good. He looks pretty buff. The bad guys look like bad guys. Some of them are kind of losery. Some of them are kind of scary. It's a great mix of looks. Uh, if I have to like really start like tearing this book apart, and I don't want to because I just enjoyed it. It's dumb fun. But I would start talking about like these backgrounds, even in a hospital, these backgrounds are kind of really boring. At least there's like some of this little hatch shading here in some places for the shadows, but not a lot to it. I'm not going to show any more of the rest of the book. No point to it. I think you either kind of like this, and this what I've showed you now should kind of give you the idea if you like it or not. There's some dumb jokes, a couple of sight gags, some nice looking art in places, some bad, not so great looking art in other places. Let's see. Let's find an example of like stuff I don't like. Actually, I think this issue probably has better art than some of the previous ones. There's only a few places where things don't look great, and I know I'm not showing anything. I'm trying to find like a good spot without like spoiling the whole book. Yeah, I guess it's just sometimes when she's drawn, she loses a lot of detail in her face. Sometimes there's a ton of it. And granted, it's like one of those we're scaling in and out kind of things. But when you're not just the title attraction. You're actually like the feature attraction of the book. The reason people are buying it is because Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, you would think she'd be like lovingly rendered everywhere. It's kind of the same complaint I had with that Star Trek series I reviewed, the Q conflict, where anytime we were zoomed in, things looked really good. Those characters in that style were lovingly rendered. That poor colorist probably had to do tons and tons of work. But as soon as we got away from like that zoomed in stuff, it got to be kind of hard sometimes to tell even who people were. This book isn't as dramatic as that, but there's a little of that effect, and it's just distracting enough that I notice it, but I can't like pinpoint like here's a hardcore example of what I'm talking about. It's a good laugh. Uh, this issue and the previous one, I think they've been pretty good. I think they're kind of better than the most of the Hell Saga stuff from when she did the Dante's Inferno ripoff like journey. So good stuff. Good stuff. You might want to check it out if you want some laughs and you want a little bit of good adventure because there's totally mm, mm, mm. I almost I almost went off without yeah, right here. Let's see how little of this I can show this panel. Look, nerds, capes fighting. A real dang superhero, comic book stuff, just like you like, kind of lampshading how ridiculous this is. Now, I know you could easily take that as like a personal attack or something. I totally called out that one time in the Inferno thing when she was like mocking like some rage merchant, and basically it's like she's mocking you. the customer. But in this case, I don't think that was really like a mean mockery. I think that was just kind of a playful mockery. It's just lampshading how ridiculous the scenario is, how silly everything in this book is, and self mockery is always okay when you're trying to tell jokes. It's not always okay in other settings, but for humor purposes, just being able, having the guts to make fun of yourself, that's some bold confidence. All right, I'm out of here. You all have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I sure hope to see you again next time. And wow, I can't believe this review went that long. I was gonna go to Instagram. Hold on, I was gonna pop over to Instagram. Let me pop over there, and we'll look up Elvira, and there she is. She actually is on Instagram, and she's got her comic book there. Hold on, I gotta show this. Oh, speaking of comic books, has anybody been checking out the like those DC books that are supposed to have Svengoolie in them? Like he talks about that on his show, but it's like, do I just literally have to buy like every DC book to see Svengoolie? Cause that ain't happening. Yeah, look at this. She's got like recent stuff, all kinds of stuff. That's a hoot. That is absolutely a hoot. I might hit the follow button here, but yeah, she's not gonna follow me back. Look at that. Ah, what a shame. What a shame. Hope springs eternal, right? You know, the funny thing is, I have never seen her host a show. I'm pretty sure. So she's like to me, she's one of those people that's famous for being famous kind of situations, you know? Anyway, bye bye. For real.